I'd ask that y'all would keep me in your prayers, for we know that without the Lord, there's nothing I can say that would do you any good whatsoever. We did get a lot of rain yesterday night. It just kind of laid around and didn't do a whole heck of a lot. And, just enjoyed it. And we do need to thank Him for that. If I could bring your attention to the book of Isaiah, I think I want to read a little bit, beginning in the 34th chapter and the 16th verse. Now, Isaiah was talking here about a little bit of how the desolation and the thorns would come up and all the animals and stuff would take over the land. And in the 16th verse, he says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these things," or these things that he had talked about before, "shall fail. None shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." When the Lord speaks, it is done. Anything that comes out of his mouth is accomplished, so that he does his will as he pleases. And in the 17th verse, "He hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line." He cast the lot for them. I think here he's talking about the things that he had spoken. He had spoken those, and by saying that he cast his lot, or he voted for that to happen, and it became, it happened. "They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein." In the 35th chapter, "The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose." This rain that we got yesterday tends to make things to come alive, as you recall that in the desert, when it rains, seems that everything there wants to soak up that rain and get that water that they haven't had. And that's what happened here. The desert shall rejoice and blossom as a rose. As the Lord speaketh, it's like the rain unto it, and it causes it to bloom, or to flourish. "It shall bloom, shall blossom abundantly, and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God. Strengthen ye the weak hands, and confirm the feeble knees." That means to help each other. Strengthen ye the weak hands. How are we going to strengthen someone's weak hands? We help them. We give them help when they can't do for themselves, when their hands are weak or their knees are weak and feeble. Say to them that are of a fearful heart. Now, those that have a fearful heart are those that reverence God. They give him the due respect that he's due. Be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Now what happened there? That was Jesus Christ came. The Lord spoke into the desert. He said that these things that would happen, and they should blossom and flourish. And then he delivers unto us his Son. A lot of people that I know don't have the reverence for God as they should. They say that they love him and they want to do the things that he tells them to do, but they still, in their day-to-day actions and the things that they do, you can tell that they don't fear him, or they don't give him that respect that he's due. But there are some that do. There's a very few people upon this earth that give God the respect and the reverence that he is due, and those people are fearful of him. That fear is not a fear like you're afraid for something bad happening to you, but it's a fear of him or a respect of him. He will come and save you. Now he sent his Son, Jesus Christ, to come down to this earth. And he came down here for a purpose. And that purpose was to save his people from their sins. And in the process of him being on this earth, he caused the eyes of the blind to open and the ears of the deaf were unstopped. He had done something that had never happened before in the history of this world. He was giving unto us, his people, a sign that it was who he said he was. For no other man could have done these things. Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall the waters break out, and streams in the desert. Not only did he cause the blind to see, and the deaf to hear, but the lame were able to get up and leap around like a rabbit. And they did. They leaped and gave him praise. And the tongue of the dumb sing, for in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert. This is the living water that is Jesus Christ, that he gives unto us to help us to understand him. He gives that water to his people. That water that when we drink of it, we won't thirst. But when we don't drink of it, then we thirst. We have to drink of that water. There's something that we got to do. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes. Those were lizards that were laying on the banks of the water and the banks of the rivers. And an highway shall be there, and a way. Now, what did that say? A highway and a way. So a highway is a road or something like that that we can follow. But there's also a way that was there. And that way was the way that he gave unto us to walk in a way that would be pleasing unto him. And when we do that on that highway, then that gives him all the praise and the honor and the glory when we do that. And it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men though fools shall not err therein. You know, we're all wayfaring people. Look at Brother Kimmy and his family, and where they've been in the last few weeks. You know, Roswell's a long way from Anna. And if that's not wayfaring, I don't know what it is. But that road or that highway and the way were there for them. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransomed of the Lord shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness and sorrow, and sighing shall flee away. You know, that's what, when we come and into the place of worship, that we come to give him all the praise and the honor and the glory. And that gives unto us joy and gladness, and that sorrow leaves us for a little while. If we apply our hearts and our minds to it in the right way, then yes, all that joy will come to us, and the sorrow will flee away from us for a little while. And don't stay that way all the time, though. Because as we go out and about, we soon forget the things of the Lord. But we're to come before him and to worship him and give him all the praise and the glory and the honor. And by that, we can get a little bit of that joy and do away with a little bit of that sorrow.